Welcome to the Main J Show. It's your boy Main J, and this is another episode of Maine-Chat. To all my fellow Mainites, subscribers, and supporters, thank you for always showing love. You already know what to do. Like and share this video. To all of you all who may be tuning in for the first time, please like the video, share it, subscribe, push the bell, and support all my social media platforms. I appreciate it. Thank you very much in advance. All right, let's get started for today. Now, hopefully this video doesn't get censored. Hopefully they don't try to shut me down. But I want to talk about COVID-19 and the vaccinations and just what's been presented to us and how I'm a little confused and just how some stuff don't make sense and how they need to stop putting what they're putting out to the media, just because it's just everybody's all over the place. All right. And I'll explain it better by and by as I go on through this. Now, let me make a disclaimer now. I'm not pro conspiracy, right? I don't think that COVID-19 is a conspiracy. I had COVID-19 back in 2020 when it first came out. I was knocked down for a few days, but I'm alive, I'm well, I'm still here, and I'm still ticking, and I'm grateful to God for that. And my immune system and all that other good stuff. I'm not anti-vaccine neither. I believe that there are plenty of people that work certain jobs, like in cancer wards and with premature babies, that I believe with how this spreads and how it attacks people with seniors and different things. I do believe in the vaccine, especially for people like that, who work at certain jobs or have certain health conditions, that way it can really attack somebody whose immune system is not as strong as somebody who has a healthy immune system. So this is not against the vaccine at all. But I just think I don't like how everything is being presented, especially if you're not vaccinated or especially if you want to trust your immune system. I think that there's room for everybody. I believe that there's room for those who've never had COVID, for those who've had COVID, those who aren't vaccinated, and for those who are vaccinated. I even think that there's room for all the different levels of information. I don't think everything is misinformation. Certain things are expected because that's just science. But I think what's making me upset right now is how people who haven't gotten vaccinated yet are being attacked. Oh, you're the problem. I also don't like how right now, if someone dies of COVID-19, it's because they weren't vaccinated. When there are people who are vaccinated that are dying, right? If someone has one shot and they die of COVID, it's because they wasn't double vaccinated, which is considered being fully vaccinated. If someone dies and they've been double vaccinated, it's because they didn't have the booster. And I know some people now are getting ready to have a second boost or whatever the case may be. I've been hearing like every 6 months or something like that, you can get reboosted again. Whatever works for you. But if you're promoting a vaccine and then you're sitting there telling people it's their fault that they died because they wasn't boosted, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people who are being attacked because they decided to trust the immune system. And I have a problem because people are speaking blindly. You have people who never had, and come on, scientists, help me out. You have people who never had COVID-19, get COVID-19, or Delta, Omicron, or whatever variant they have, and say, I'm grateful that I took the vaccine, because if I wouldn't take the vaccine, I probably wouldn't be alive, or I probably have way worse symptoms. How do you know that? Come on, all scientists, come on, people who took science projects in school. You can only speak that truth is if you had COVID-19 before the vaccine came out, and then you ended up getting COVID-19 after you had a vaccine, or before you took the vaccine and after you took the vaccine. Then you can kind of give us the pros and cons of before and after. So a lot of my problem is you're hearing people in the media who never had COVID-19 talk about, oh, I'm grateful that I took the vaccine because once I got COVID-19, I had less symptoms. In order for you to say that you had lesser symptoms, that means you had to have more symptoms. And the only reason now you got more symptoms is if you had it before, and maybe you had it before the vaccine. So the best thing that you can do is say, hey, y'all, I ended up contracting COVID-19. I don't mind. People are going to catch COVID-19 after being vaccinated. That's fine. Just say, hey, y'all, I had COVID-19. I've been double vaccinated and had a booster. And I still ended up contracting the virus. And my symptoms have been very minimal. And I believe it's due for the fact that I'm vaccinated, but not this, oh, I know for sure that I have lesser symptoms because of this vaccine. And then maybe have some people that say, hey, y'all, listen, I was vaccinated. Before I got vaccinated, I had COVID-19 and it knocked me down for 2.5, 3 weeks. And I couldn't breathe. I lost weight. I didn't eat. I didn't smell. It was horrible. I was knocked down bad. Guess what, y'all? I got vaccinated after experiencing that because I didn't want to experience it again. And then I got COVID-19. And guess what? Before I was down for 3 weeks. This time I was only down for 3 days. I can take that. I can take that from someone who had it before and after. But I don't think that people who still haven't been vaccinated should be attacked. Someone like myself, who had COVID-19 way before the vaccine came out, guess what? After 4 or 5 days, I was back to better. I enjoyed the other 5 to 7 days that they told me to take off. And I just caught up on some TV shows, got extra rest, didn't have to get up, didn't have to deal with work. I enjoyed those 14 free days of pay for free. Praise Jesus. Okay. But my immune system did its job way before the vaccine. And I just wish that we can have a happy medium for maybe people who have healthier immune systems and their bodies fought it and they were fine after, to maybe people who don't have necessarily as great of immune systems and they needed the vaccine. But to say, well, trust the science and take the vaccine. I did trust the science. My immune system, it was the science. My immune system fought off the virus. And I went back to work and I've been working ever since. There's a lot of people with that testimony who eat healthy every day, exercise, get the vitamin D, take vitamins, get 8 hours of sleep. That was all the stuff that we learned in school. 8 to 10 cups of water, your fruits and your vegetables, all this other stuff. And they were fine after they had COVID. They only had it for a couple of days. And then what do you say to those people who saying, listen, I'm not taking a vaccine because I had COVID before? Well, I'll give you lesser symptoms. Well, the symptoms that I had before wasn't that bad. Yes, I was knocked down for a few days, but I'd rather trust my immune system again if I catch it. Some people saying they haven't caught it ever since. So I just wish that there was enough room for both. Also, when y'all are talking about the vaccine and lesser symptoms and being hospitalized, not only would you say to someone who had COVID-19 and had symptoms and was knocked down for a few days and decided still not to get vaccinated, and then somebody who was knocked down for 3 weeks who decided to get vaccinated, what do you tell the person who's asymptomatic, who had COVID-19 and didn't have no symptoms? You can't use the vaccine. Well, oh, the vaccine will help you to have less symptoms when they never had symptoms in the first place. The only reason why they knew they had COVID-19 is because they went and got tested. You don't feel, no, I've been feeling fine the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been going to work every day and blah, 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 blah. I only took this because my job requires us to take a test, or this certain place wants me to take a test. So I decided to come to get the test. And I was saying that but I don't have no symptoms. Once again, when you tell somebody who had COVID-19 and the only symptom was a runny nose or something, there's many people who have allergies. So some of the same symptoms as was in COVID-19 and some of the same symptoms as was in allergies. So somebody could have just been thinking, okay, it's just my allergies acting up. Let me just take some allergy medicine, or let me troop it out like I always do. So the argument, well, if you would have had to take the vaccine, you'll have less symptoms. I barely had any symptoms when I had it. So, I just think that there's enough room for both people who really are pro-vaccine and pro people who are anti-vaccine for whatever reason. And everyone has had different experiences. So that's why I'm not mad at the information that's being presented to us. I just think that there's room for everybody. For people to trust the immune system, that want to trust them. For people that want to be extra protected, to get extra protection. No one's really right. No one's really wrong. No one should be penalized for it. If you want to make people take tests, that's fine. It's your business. It's your corporation. Certain people in certain fields have to get vaccinated. I understand people who work in senior citizens homes. The seniors are very vulnerable. Some of them are. Some of them eat healthy or whatever. And I just want the media to do better for both the vaccinated and the unvaccinated, and everybody being respected in that regard, because no one's really right or really wrong in regards to whether they take the vaccine or don't take the vaccine. Trust the immune system, don't trust the immune system. And I think that that's all I want to say in regards to that. Now, the only other thing I want to do with this topic is talk to politicians, and I want to talk to preachers real quick, mainly preachers. Recently, I was invited to an event to do some recording and take some pictures. Little promotion right there for an event. And in order to go to the event, you either had to be vaccinated or come back with a COVID test that was negative, right? And I decided not to go, not because of vaccination status or proving a negative test, but I decided not to go because of the hypocrisy. This particular preacher got up on their pulpit quite a few times, and this is for the preachers and the politicians, especially the preachers who are trying to preach faith and believing in God. Got up on their pulpit and told people, not just in their congregation, but on their lives, that you don't have no faith, and y'all out here running around like a chicken with your head cut off, which a lot of people were freaking out about this and weren't trusting God and were forgetting that God was their provider and will cover them and all that other stuff. But y'all out here and don't take that vaccine. The vaccine is the mark of the beast, and if you take the mark of the beast, you're going to hell. And you don't. Where's all of y'all before this? And that God was a healer and God was a deliverer, and now y'all sitting there taking the vaccine just so you can get money and get paid, and forgetting that God is the supplier and the provider, and that He will cover all His people. And I ain't taking no mark of the beast. I ain't taking that vaccine. I don't care. Da 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 da. Now you out here telling people that you're vaccinated, which is a good thing. If you that's what you choose. And it's nothing wrong with saying for your event, if that's what you want, because it is your event. You want them to be vaccinated or come. I can't argue with that. That's your event. They're going to be in your space, in your vicinity. And if you want to make sure that people are COVID free or COVID clear, most people, even if they are anti-vax, aren't upset with people and their rules for their establishments. This is your house. This is your event. This is your business. But overall, just the control from the top telling us what to do is one thing. But you as the owner of this business saying what you want and what you don't want, mask or no mask, is fine. But back to the story. I didn't go to the event, and I don't respect this particular preacher or any preachers who have used their pulpit to tell people that they were faithless if they took the vaccine. That they were faithless if they didn't believe that God was going to cover them and that it was the mark of the beast. And then now, some months later, you have the mark of the beast, which is the vaccine. Because there are a lot of people who believe in their men and women of God. Now, I believe in my men and women of God, that they hear from God. I know how to eat the meat and spit out the bones when something is not necessarily for me, but it may be for somebody else in the congregation. I also do know to still pray and seek God when making decisions that affect my health, my life, and my well-being. But there are plenty of people out there that did not take the vaccine in fear of going to hell because you preachers told them that it was the mark of the beast. And if you reneged and then it ended up getting vaccinated, and you lost members because they decided not to get vaccinated because they didn't want to go to hell for taking the mark of the beast, you owe those families an apology. Now, my most recent video, I talked about Mike Todd and him not owing people an apology because I didn't think he owed people an apology. But I do think that if you told people that it was the mark of the beast and that they lack faith for taking the vaccination and not believing that God was going to shield them or protect them, and that they were doing it to keep their jobs or for money, and now you got the vaccine, you need to get up on your pulpits and apologize. You need to apologize to those families because some of y'all have blood on your hands because some people have died listening to y'all say that they're taking the mark of the beast. And now you got the mark of the beast and everything's okay. So I have a problem with that aspect of it. And politicians who got vaccinations, some of y'all do, but y'all still trying to please your constituents. And some of your constituents are dying because they're like, yeah, that's my right. And that's my freedom. And some of y'all got vaccinated. Can't prove it. We can't really get your medical records and all that other type of stuff. But we know for some of y'all to work some of y'all jobs, you had to be vaccinated and be in some of these buildings. So let's not do that. So some of y'all have blood on your hands. So that's my issue with the vaccine. From a religious pinpoint, from a political pinpoint. And I just want to say this to my fellow Christians out there, especially you preachers. If people don't have faith in God because they got vaccinated, or got the booster as well, they don't believe God that will cover them and some more stuff because they took that. Then the next time you have a headache, believe God. Don't go taking something for the headache. The next time you have muscle spasms or your body's in pain, don't go taking no muscle relaxers or anything. Believe God to fully heal you. God did give us doctors and nurses for a reason, and they do great jobs in helping us figure out things about our health, physicals, our eyes, whatever we need for our glasses, hearing aids, or whatever else. They definitely do some great work. Can they be wrong sometimes? Absolutely. But if you're going to tell somebody that they're faithless and they don't believe and trust God because they took a vaccine and you're out here taking all the medicines you can take when you need them, you need to sit down somewhere. Those of y'all who don't want to be vaccinated, don't be vaccinated. Those of y'all who want to be vaccinated, be vaccinated. Those of y'all who trust your immune system to do its job, and maybe every, little fruits and vegetables, water, vitamins. And for some of y'all who feel like y'all need the extra kick, maybe you're obese, maybe whatever the case may be, then do that. Do whatever works for you. And last but not least, and I know I always say this, but I'm going to try to keep this video under like 22 minutes, something like that. For a lot of y'all saying that there's a lot of misinformation. There is a lot of misinformation. But I think that there's a difference between misinformation when people are really lying, and then it's just different. There's a difference between misinformation and different information. When people are like, well, first they're saying this and then they're saying that. They're saying this and they're saying that. They're saying this and they're saying that. Now, hear me. I do believe that there will be different numbers. Once again, high school, college, there's science projects, and just in general, living life and being around different people, everyone responds to things differently. So I'm not mad when they said white men compared to black men with COVID, or men 40 to 60 compared to men 20 to 40 when it comes to the vaccine, or when it comes to coronavirus. I'm not upset when they said men compared to women, poor compared to rich, the United States compared to other countries. There's going to be different numbers. So that's not misinformation. That's just saying that different demographics experience the COVID differently, and they experience different reactions from the vaccine. People who have healthier and stronger immune systems compared to people who may have diabetes, who may have asthma. That's just different information based off of demographics and age groups and genders and all that other type of stuff. So that's not misinformation. That's just different information based off of how they've been experiencing this demographic experienced it worse than this demographic. We wonder why. This demographic we think needs the booster. This demographic we don't think needs the booster. So that's not misinformation. That's just science and studying to show, okay, this is how it affects people with different diseases, different backgrounds, different classes, and some more stuff. So know the difference out there when you're saying they just out there doing misinformation. Yeah, because some stuff is like wear a mask, don't wear a mask, wash your hands, don't wash your hands. You know, and in my closing, wash your hands, use sanitizer, be cautious, but don't be fearful. Everything is not COVID. Let me say it again. Let me tune it up real quick. Everything is not COVID. No, sir. I live up north in New England. Go Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, everybody. But we get a cold winter. People get colds. Everything is not COVID. Some people just have a cold. Or they got a runny nose, they got COVID. No, it's cold outside. It's windy outside. Or they had to blow their nose, they got COVID. No, the nose is just runny, it's stuffed. Oh, they sneezed, they got COVID. No, it's dusty or my allergies. So just stay calm. Everything is not COVID. You know, stop being so fearful and fretful. Put a mask on, wear your gloves, wash your hands, sanitize, wipe down stuff, daily or every other day. Have some sanitizing spray if that makes you feel better. But everything is not COVID. Everyone doesn't have COVID. There are other things that people are dealing with. Cold weather, runny noses, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's just the flu. So stop freaking out. Drink your tea, your vitamins, whatever you got to do to stay healthy out there, because COVID is real. But all the extra stuff, we all got to stop. And that's all I really got to say. Y'all know what to do. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please leave some feedback, leave some comments. But most importantly, once again, please be safe, be smart, and protect yourselves, because the virus is real. All right. Thank you. Peace.